right, once again, we have the microphones on the side, so please raise your hand and let them come to you, and please state your name and affiliation and direct your question to one of the players, please. All right. Bob?
Hey guys, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. It's a newspaper, it's not political or anything. But hey, you guys are leading the nation in rebounding, margin like 13 plus 13 something. But no, but I think Jackson's the only guy averaging, Kenny, I guess you're the only one averaging like more than 6. What's the key to you guys leading the nation by such a wide margin?
That's our main goal in every game that we go into. We want to win the rebound margin. I think that's what leads to wins. I think that definitely gives you another opportunity at getting shots. So that's our main objective from the big man especially, and I know we had a 2 and a 3 man hitting the boards also. So we just try to use our size to our advantage and fight around the box house.
Greg Barnes in South Carolina. Kennedy, along those lines, given the pace of play that you guys play at, does that help the offensive rebounding be so successful to do it against a defense maybe that's not set?
I think so. I think it kind of throws their defensive balance off. I think kind of puts them on their heels. And Joel is the type of point guard, Sev and Nate are the type of point guards that likes to attack you. So that definitely opens it up for the rest of the team.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Joel, Arkansas is a team that likes to play fast. They like to press. Is that kind of playing into your hands with the kind of athletes you have and the kind of depth you have?
Oh, definitely. We're a team that, if the other team happens to score, we try to get the ball out really fast and get it down the court. So, even though they press, I think it plays right into our hand because if we can get it out fast where they don't have to, get into their traps and everything, that helps us out. We can get down the floor, and we have the guys, on the wings that can be able to attack. So.
Hey, Kennedy, I was wondering what you thought about Moses Kingsley. He had a really big game yesterday against Delgado, who's all Big East. Just kind of what you thought about going against Moses. Just what you think about him as a player.
He's a great defender. He's a major key to their team, and our main objective, of course, is going to try to get him out of the game as much as possible, attacking the ball inside, and it'll open the things up for our guards and Justin and Joel for an easy shot. So, like I said, he's a great shot blocker. I think he's leading the SEC in shot blocks. So he's got to either pump fake or just go right up. So our main objective tomorrow is to play as aggressive as we can and to try to get some things going for our team.
Jeff Jones, CBS North Carolina. Joel, less than 24 hours after tweaking the ankle a little bit, I'm sure it's not 100%. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm walking better than I was yesterday. I did a lot of treatment today. It's just a little sore, but overall I feel pretty good. So.
Zach Brazil, New York Post again. Kennedy, and for Joel too. Do you expect them to continue to play the way they play? Do you expect them still to press you and still to try to make it an up-tempo game, despite the kind of athletes and the way you play?
Yeah, I don't think that they would change their game plan at all. They do a great job of trapping. They do a great job of having defensive balance, and their guards are aggressive. So I just think we have to do what we usually do, which is our press offense, and try our hardest to get the ball up the court as fast as we can so we can get it to our half-court offense.
Want to add anything?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. They've been doing that all year long, and I don't expect them to get to this point and try to change up what they're doing. So I expect them to stick with their game plan and continue to do what they do, and we just got to be ready for it. So.
I guess for both guys, I think I got this stat right. The one seed's like 111 and 17 in second round, so obviously pretty good winning percentage. How do y'all approach that? Because there's been a few upsets, but not very many. As the number one seed, how do you guys approach that?
Yeah, we don't pay attention to those stats. I guess those stats are you guys, but for us, we got to just continue to play, and we can't, look at that and try to say that, that'll help us win. But, we just got to continue to do what we do, and we got to go into each and every game and just be ready to play. And this one is going to be a physical and aggressive game, and we just got to be ready for that.
Oh, you want both of them to answer it?
Oh, yeah, I think we want to go into the game all the time thinking that we're going to win and we're going to be happy at the end result. So, like I said, our main focus is not to worry about what seed we are, what seed they are, because they're a great team and they're here for a reason. So we can't overlook them at all, and we definitely have to come out with the right mindset tomorrow, focus on our scouting report, and just put every thing we have into it.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Joe, knowing what kind of game it is, do you look forward to tomorrow because you know it's going to be a back and forth, up and down game? And what is the key for you guys against their press and their tempo?
Yeah, I just think more importantly is just stop them from scoring. And if we can get some rebounds to where they don't have a chance to set up for their press, I think that's the first objective. And then the second one is just getting the ball out fast if they do score. And, I mean, this is the kind of game I love. I like getting up and down the court. And it's going to be a fun game, and it's going to be aggressive. But I think that we have the team and the guards to be able to withstand their press. And like I said, if we could just stop them from scoring and just get our rebounds and get out on the break, that'll play right into our hand.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. Coach. How are you today?
Got the right cup.
You do have the right cup. Put one out there just in case. I'm going to have you
I'm
do
sure
a
you're
quick
always covered with me.
opening comment, and then we'll do
Okay.
questions. All right, we'll do a quick opening comment from Coach, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay, we were very pleased that we're still here, number one, but with the way we did a lot of things last night, realized that in the NCAA tournament it turns around pretty quickly. I thought he was asking me something. Giving sign language. I didn't know if it was a NASCAR race or what the crap was going on. I was ready to quit and pit, though, if you needed me to. But no, we did feel good about a lot of things last night. Got them something to eat, got them to bed, getting ready to practice here. We have no idea if Joel Berry, what his ankle is going to be like in another 30 hours or whatever it is. He's not going to practice today. He's been getting treatment. I'm hopeful that he will play, but just have to wait and see. I mean, the bottom line is I can't be Mr. Miyagi, as we said last night, and clap my hands together and rub it on it and make it better. So we just have to see what it's like. And it's the only time I was hoping that we played at 1 or 2, and yet when I got the notice that we played at 6 o'clock, the way I looked at it is that's 4 more hours for Joel to heal. So I'm hopeful that we'll have him.
Zach Brazilian, you're opposed. Coach, Arkansas loves to play fast. They press. Does that work in your favor just because of all the athletes, and you guys obviously thrive in the open court as well?
Well, I don't know if I'd say it. We thrive because of all those athletes we have. We're good at a fast pace, which is the way we always play. The difference is if you play at a fast pace and you turn it over, it's not good. If we get the shot that we all want and go up and down the court, that is familiarity for us. We do want a fast pace. Arkansas wants a fast pace. They really guard the dickens out of you in a full court. We try to guard you in a half court situation. It's just a different philosophy there, but we've got to make sure we're not careless, we're not casual, we're not cool. Those 3 C words I don't like at all, and if you're careless, casual, or cool when you're playing with them, you're going back home.
Roy Jeff Fischel from the ACCDN. How have you seen Justin's role emerge this year, and how has he taken to that, being a leader and the primary scorer on this team? You
know, last spring after the season's over with, we had several conversations. Going through the combine, had some more conversations, and we focused on 2 or 3 things, and I think he's done a great job with it. He's really had a better focus, not that it was bad, but he had a better focus in the weight room. He's bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, and all those things. His shot is going in this year. So for us, I told him I wanted him to be more aggressive. We need him to rebound more, need him to get the free throw line a little more. Hadn't gotten to the free throw line as much as I think he should have, or I think a lot of times the calls are just he's got the little floater and everybody thinks it's okay because he's still got the shot off. But I think he's done a fantastic job for us, understanding that we want him to score and need him to score. I think he went through the 4-game stretch there at the end of the season and through the ACC tournament that he perhaps was trying to do too much or do what he had been doing, but doing it quicker. And so just got to try to get him to settle down and just be Justin.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You guys are plus 13 something on rebounding margin. What's been the key to that? Because I think you only have one guy averaging more than 6 rebounds.
We lost Bryce Johnson last year, who was a great rebounder, led the league in rebounding, had 23 rebounds in 1 game. So from the first day of practice, we emphasized that we've got to do a great job and rebound the basketball as a team. We don't have a natural guy that just goes and the ball finds his hands all the time like it did with Bryce. We pushed Theo and Justin, the 3 men on our team, that you got to be able to go get some rebounds. We talked to Theo when he's the 2, Kenny Williams when he was the 2, that you've got to go get some rebounds for us. Me personally, for 29 years, I've really thought that was the single most important factor in who wins the games, and so I've emphasized it forever. But we've had a couple of games this year where we didn't rebound it well, and we usually either got beat or struggled during those games.
Hey, Coach. Jeff Jones, CBS North Carolina. You said you're kind of unsure about the status of Joel for tomorrow due to his ankle. If he can't go or if his minutes are limited, how does that change things specifically offensively?
Well, Nate Britt, Seventh Woods, Stillman White, those guys have to share the time. none of those guys have done as good a job as Joel, shooting over 40% from the three-point line. They've got Nate shot it well last night. I think made 2 threes last night. Was 5 assists on our chart, no turnovers. Stillman can shoot the basketball, 7th, has tremendous speed and quickness. If I could put all 3 of them together and have one player at the end, I wouldn't be that worried. But Joel's been one of our leaders, and not just by scoring or shooting three-point shots, but the way he plays defense. But we can't go out and draft anybody, so we've got to figure out somebody to play.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal. Roy, what do you remember about the game against Arkansas in the second round in Jacksonville 2 years ago? And can that be any help in preparing for this? Because they've got pretty much an entirely new team.
Yeah, I don't think it can give you much. I mean, their whole team, you look at their roster on our scouting report, everybody's a junior or senior there, been through it. Some of those guys were playing at that time, but most of them were not, or half and half probably. But I know we won. I know it was a very aggressive game. I know I felt going into the game exactly how I feel right now, that we've got to attack under control and not turn the ball over.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Coach, tomorrow Duke is basically going to play a road game here against South Carolina because of the HB2 law. If you were in that position, what would be your reaction to, because of that law, basically having to play a road game in the second round as a 1 or 2 seed?
Well, you know, a lot of times 1 or 2 seeds get to play a home game. Us and Duke both over the years. But I just think it's a terrible law. That's the worst thing. It's not good for our state. I don't think we should be happy about it. It's embarrassment and those kind of things. But you know, we've gone on the road, played NCAA tournament games before. It's part of it. It's what you do.
Right.
I think we played Notre Dame at Notre Dame on St. Patrick's Day one time. Is that right, Artie? You're the only guy in here older than me. What's that? Yeah. I wore my master's green jacket just to tick everybody off. We won. I'm not a member of Augusta. I just had a jacket like that. Yes, Nicole.
Roy, Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. You mentioned Stillman. He's had a very unique career and obviously a very unique experience in the middle of it. What was it like watching him come back to basketball? He said he barely touched a ball for 2 years, and you know, to see him be part of these teams these last couple of years.
It was, you know, you think about it, you play, and all of a sudden you're thrust into the magnificent spotlight of trying to go to the Sweet 16 with the guy who basically came as a walk-on kind of thing, and he really did a nice job. I still say and believe that if we had been able to get to the Final Four, it would have been one of the great stories in North Carolina basketball. Then he leaves for 2 years, and he comes back, and the first year he's back, he's banged up and hurt all year. He had a foot problem while he was gone. It was still a thing, was bothering him a great deal. This year he's been really something for us. He's led our scout team, blue squad, whatever you want to call them, every day. He's been a load for everybody to handle. And I told him, I said, you may be the only guy that I really have not given enough time for what you deserve. And so one day I asked him, I said, had you rather me praise you a lot like I've been doing, or just give you more plus points to get out of sprinting? And he just looked at me and said, boy, Coach, that's hard to make that choice. But he's been fantastic for us.
Roy, Luke DeCock, Raleigh News and Observer. I'm not old enough to remember when South Carolina was in the ACC, but with that kind of historical perspective, you're playing an SEC team, they're SEC fans, you guys are North Carolina, they're South Carolina. Is the building going to be for or against you in your game tomorrow? What's your gut feeling?
Oh, I got to think. I looked around yesterday. There were a lot of Carolina blue shirts in there, so I think we'll have a decent crowd. I think we'll have more people cheering for us than perhaps it will be cheering for Duke in the other game.
Go ahead.
Bobby Swafford, KFSM in Fayetteville, Arkansas. When you look at Arkansas's lineup, Moses Kingsley obviously stands out in the middle, but what have you seen from number 0, Jalen Barford, especially over the last couple weeks of the season?
You know, Jalen, and I haven't seen much of him. I saw about 3 minutes of their game against Kentucky. I think he was in the tournament. Didn't they play Kentucky in the tournament just last week or week before last? Yeah, okay. I saw 3 or 4 minutes of that, but Jalen, you know, I know the reputation, #1 JUCO player in the country and all that kind of stuff. He's really got a great ability to get the ball to the basket and finish. He can go in the medium post and shoot his turnaround jumper. 6'3", 210 it looks like, and looks like he plays even bigger than that. I think he's been extremely important to them, and he fits into that constant motion, harassment, havoc kind of mentality that Michael tries to push. He's been really, really good for him. He's a load for our guys, I can tell you that.
Kyle Duckelbaum, ABC in Little Rock. You mentioned last night how good of a job Mike Anderson has done with this team. Can you expand on that a little bit, what he's done well with this team?
Well, you know, I've known Michael for a long time. I mean, I spent 4, 5, 6 years going to Arkansas playing in the college coaches golf tournament, spending time with Nolan and Michael. Nolan's been a good friend, and Rose, the family for me for a long time. But Michael coming back and replacing Nolan, not replacing him, but that's what everybody thought. There was a couple of coaches in the middle there too, I think. But everybody thought Arkansas basketball's back, and that was a pretty big burden for him to start with. But he's a guy that just sort of keeps plodding along, and plodding along. He looks more like a sprinter than a marathon guy, but I happen to think he's a marathon guy who's really stuck to his philosophy, stuck to what he believes in, the way that he worked with Nolan when Nolan was the head coach. He's added his own personal traits to it, but I think he's comfortable coaching that way. And I even saw it might have been in their media guide stuff, or maybe it's just off paper, I guess 3 or 4 kids who have committed to come there next year, all 3 of them the state of Arkansas. And yeah, he talked about that, their pride in Arkansas basketball, and he has a great deal of pride in Arkansas basketball and just done a great job, I think. He's a good guy. Good guy. His wife's a lot nicer than he is, but other than that, he's okay.
Yeah, Coach, I guess it's going to be I know you guys have played a lot more tournament games, but this is going to be the 3rd straight time Arkansas has been in the tournament and played North Carolina in the 2nd round. I know you played them when you were at KU in the Elite Eight, I think it was. Just what do you think about, you know, playing Arkansas 3 straight times like this and kind of the North Carolina-Arkansas, because this is the 6th tournament game between the 2 teams?
Well, I'm not sure about the 3 straight. Have we played them 3 straight ourselves? When did we play them again?
That was 08, 2 years ago. They didn't go between 08 and 2015.
Okay, I got you.
So they've kind of been running into that Carolina blue wall.
We did it with Michigan when I ended up at North Carolina. My last couple of years at Carolina, we played Michigan. I went to Kansas, and they played Michigan again. You know, that kind of thing. And a couple of years ago, we kept playing Kansas in Kansas City and Kansas in St. Louis. I wanted to play them in North Carolina one time, but it's weird the way those things happen like that. But again, I think I'm right in saying this. Nolan Richardson's first clinic that he did in UTEP after the passing of his daughter, he asked me if I'd go, and I went to that just because it was Nolan. And the people at Arkansas, they treated me fantastic, and I was there a lot during those years playing in that golf tournament, spending time there. Bobby Wilson, you see advertising some weird thing to help your golf game on TV. He was the pro there at Pinnacle. He's a long drive champion of the world for 3 or 4 or 5 years. I've known Bobby and Mr. Hudson, Mr. Hunt, the Walton people, Walmart people, excuse me, they were always good. So for me, it's just, and with Mike, we've been on a lot of trips together, and he's a guy that I really enjoy and have a great deal of respect for. So I don't really look at it as, you know, North Carolina, Arkansas. To me, it's people I have a great deal of respect for.
Back.
Roy, Luke was mentioned in South Carolina. What are your memories of those days when they were just as big a rival as anybody else in the ACC?
In those days, the big rivalries really meant there was a lot more going on than everybody knew about. Now with social media, if it had things going on back then, there would have been guys that weren't playing for years and years and years, or coaching in years and years and years. It was a fierce rivalry. It was a very heated rivalry. There was a lot of things openly said between the 2 teams, and yet you had Frank McGuire and Dean Smith, who had a great deal of respect for each other. But I was in school at that time. Some of the big-time games, some of the very violent games, things that went on during those games. I still remember one of the North Carolina players, and I know who he is, yelled, "Contact, contact," and everybody stopped. And I remember the South Carolina player, and I know who he is. But if you want to find out, you got to do your homework. Going out in the middle of the court and stomping his feet, trying to smash the contact. And that wasn't looked upon as that unusual, you know, that kind of thing. So it was a big-time rivalry in those days. But Frank Martin has really done a fantastic job down there. And this place has a chance to be rocking for them tomorrow night, but they got their hands full.
Roy, Jeff Fischel again from the ACCDN. When you guys are playing well defensively, what are you seeing on the floor?
I wish I'd see a heck of a lot more of it. That's a big thing that I've got at when we're playing well defensively. I think everybody's really focused and seeing the big picture and knowing what the other team's trying to do. And 5 guys moving together every time the ball moves. 5 individuals need to move. And for us, then you have to finish it with the box out. I mean, last night the ball was shot, and one of our guys turned around and looked, and the ball bounced over his head. And I turned to the team. What is it that we don't understand? 91 practices, 34 games, and I'm still having to preach going to box somebody out. So I'd like those ideas of, I hope that we have that scenario tomorrow when we're playing defense. I hope it's out there.
We'll take one final question if there is one. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.